Today, guys, we're at McLaren. And we have Brett here. Brett, thank you so much.
Pleasure having you.
For meeting me here. Man, you have such a sweet setup.
It gets the job done.
I imagine it does. Holy cow. So he was saying that his setup goes from, it starts here, basically anything that's green.
Correct,
is his.
yeah.
So these two are your roll-arounds, I guess?
Correct. These are Harbor Freight just because I didn't want to spend like what, Snap-on charges like $800-900 for something that I'm just gonna like throw tools on, and I just need them to hold stuff. I don't need them necessarily be Snap-on quality, just holding stuff, hold a lot of my fluids, some random stuff that I use on a decent amount, but not like everyday basis.
Gotcha, yeah. What's that?
So this is a currently broken transfer pump that I bought because I've used it so much. But I like it because it's drill operated, so I don't have to have like a battery setup with it. I can take it anywhere as long as I have a powered drill. So I'm gonna get a new one, but it helps with like transmission flushes and whatnot on these cars.
Gotcha.
Because we have to fill it from the bottom instead of the top. So it's a pain to do it without it. So once I made this setup, made life a lot easier. Made it going from like half an hour for filling it up to maybe 2 minutes. So shaved a lot of time off there too.
Yeah, I bet.
These kind of cheap microfibers, I'll put on like the lift arm of cars.
Okay.
If it's like lowered or something, and if it's got carbon side skirts,
I'll
just throw just to make sure nothing happens because these are cheap, but they're still soft.
Gotcha.
I'll put them on the rack arm. It just protects the carbon.
Look like most of the racks are a little bit thinner than most that I'm used to. So.
Yeah, so it's nice. So like I'd take, for example, if this was like a lowered vehicle or you have the carbon side skirts right here, and if I had any doubts or wanted just to make sure, I just stuff a rag right there, protects the carbon, makes the customers happy. I'm looking out for their vehicle. So just small things like that I try to do for these kinds of cars. This one, I have booties, and I also have gloves. White neck gloves, because a lot of those cars are bespoke. A lot of them have white interior that I don't want to dirty. So anything, and I have seat covers, and I put towels everywhere on those cars, tape everything up. But yeah, it's once again just protecting the car.
Gotcha.
The art piece.
And so what's that thing?
So this guy is one of my many kind of non-tool items that I like to buy.
Yeah.
It's just this little squirt gun.
Oh, okay.
It's not full right now.
Because I saw there was no like air fitting on the bottom, so I was like, hey, what is that?
It's funny because like you can actually put a 1/2-inch socket on there.
Oh, really?
And it'll make it look legit. So I like to cause chaos and fill it up with water and walk around the shop and just squirt people with it. But
that's awesome.
yeah, it's one of those things that I bought that I didn't need to, but I wanted it.
This looks like everything is backed in?
Because of the motors are in the back.
I see.
So the cars, you can front them in, but these just...
all that weight in the back.
Yeah. It took a little bit to kind of get used to instead of like pulling a car in.
Right.
I've actually always been a fan of backing cars in because your pivot point is up front compared to like where you're going.
Oh, that makes
sense. So it kind of makes it easier.
Yeah.
So now I can just zip these on the rack like nothing.
And this is your main box. Did you work at Mercedes at one point?
I did, yeah.
Gotcha.
So I was at Mercedes for about 3.5 years before I came onto McLaren.
Oh, okay. You like it here more than Mercedes?
Yeah, it's kind of hard not to.
Yeah, I would too. Gosh, look at these just like dry carbon parts just chilling up there.
Yeah, those are just, so you got the coolant reservoir cover, then you have the engine cover, and yeah, all that carbon. You got the nice billet, water cap.
Gosh, well, the stainless steel top just looks so nice.
Yeah,
yeah,
she's held up. I mean, she does have scratches here and there.
And I love this light down here.
I didn't actually know this top had the light until I opened the box.
Oh, okay.
I ordered it from my Snap-on guy because that's the whole reason I got the top was I wanted a hutch back then, but then I kind of went back on it, but I still love this top.
Yeah.
But I opened the box, I'm like, what's that button do? He's like, oh, I didn't tell you, and I wanted to surprise you. It's got an LED light built in.
Oh, that's so cool.
And so immediately all the guys in the shop were jealous because they have like the little bit older version where it doesn't have the light. So they kind of, when I turned it on and it looks as clean as it does now, they're kind of like, man, I want a new one.
Yeah, it really sticks out. I love that.
this is the.
I love how organized that is. You got.
It took forever to get it to a setup that I liked.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like when I was midway through, like if I got this set and I wasn't sure if where I wanted it, I'd have to move other sets around. So you're not only doing that one set of the holders, so you have to kind of adjust it all. So it's kind of organized by drive size. So you have all the quarter drive, 3/8, and then 1/2 inch on that side, and then you kind of have more of the specialty stuff on the right side.
Okay.
Where it kind of goes the same. So you have quarter, 3/8, 1/2 inch.
Okay. And this is like the tool grid system, right?
Correct. Yeah. So everything, all the pegs and all the holders or whatnot, I got off my Cornwell guy.
Oh, okay.
And it worked out perfectly because the boards fit like perfect, so I didn't have to like cut anything or anything like that.
Gotcha. What are those? Those look crazy.
So I bought these off a whim. I have a very bad habit of going on the tool truck
Yeah.
and buying something that I might not necessarily need,
Yeah.
but they look cool. So these are ratcheting crow's feet. I have not used them, and I don't think I'll need to use them, but they look cool.
Yeah, they do. And as far as sockets go, do you have like a brand that you follow? Or do you just kind of get what works?
Kind of get what works.
Gotcha.
So even though like my boxes snap on, you'll see all my actual ratchets are snap on, or at least 9% of them. Sockets, I'm kind of all over the place.
Okay.
Just because if like snap on has like this set, that's like $350, $400.
Yeah, right.
I'm like, I like tools, but I also like to eat. So like, I don't necessarily want to spend all my money on that.
Sure.
Granted, they're good quality, and I do obviously have like some snap-on stuff. But for the most part, it's a mix of, these are all Matco. Tecton, I think. Capri is actually one of my new favorite manufacturers.
Oh, really?
Off of Amazon.
Yeah.
So I have a whole bunch of stuff from them. So like, the stubbies or the shallows.
Yeah.
I love this set, the 1/2 inch shallow. Those come in handy.
I love how it's organized. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but it looks so cool. There's like a bunch right there.
It does, and I love how it, like the simplicity of it looks, because it kind of like goes up and then back down. Like I said, it took a while to get like everything how I like it. So this is a Artura oil filter.
Artura. Is that a McLaren? Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, so it's the new Artura oil filter tool.
Okay.
Yeah, so I have a couple special tools like that. So this is a Lotus wheel lug nut key.
Oh, wow. So all Lotuses have that?
Correct. Yeah. And then I have the LT McLaren car lug nut key, which is basically the same as Lamborghini as well.
Oh, okay.
So it's just a T70. But all the LT models have those aluminum or titanium lug nuts.
Okay.
I have a bad habit of buying stuff I don't need. The only one I use is 17, and the one I have mainly is on my everyday cart.
Okay.
But I have 4, 17 covered lug nuts. Never going to use the 19 or the 21, but I got it because this one's green.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
And it's cool looking. So I have never used this, but I like looking at it.
Oh, that's cool. Who makes the blue?
So this was Matco. Matco, Cornwell, and my other one's Cornwell. And I bought this one because of the carbon.
That looks cool, yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. Man, no, I love how organized you can make all your extensions and everything.
Yeah, I try my best to go like by small to large.
What's that?
So this is a special tool for LT model engine covers. So they don't, to save weight, they don't have an actual like mechanism, like a switch to open up the engine cover.
Okay.
You have to stick this in and then turn it, and it unlocks it.
Whoa, like the hood?
Mm-hmm.
So you have to use that to open the hood?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Not the hood in the front, the one on the engine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, so that's carbon.
That's crazy. Huh. I'd be like looking everywhere, like where's the product? That's cool. And this light, so does that come with the box, that light? That
So
goes around?
I bought this light before I got this top.
Oh, okay.
So this is off Amazon. I want to say it's like $30, but it's motion activated.
That's cool.
So before I had this light, whenever I'd open the box, obviously it's not going to be like dark, but I wanted some kind of light to just make it easier. And so if I have this open and we're not here, within about 35, 45 seconds, all the lights will shut off. But the moment I come back over and reach it, they'll turn back on.
Wow.
So it's not like constantly on, or I have to turn it on and off every time. Because Snap-on made a light kind of like that, but it had like a sensor and it would like sit above the drawers. But they were like $200 a piece.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I'm like, once again, no thank you.
Yeah. So does that have batteries, or how is it hooked up?
So this is the entire module. So when it goes dead, I can just charge it.
Oh, wow.
And that's where the sensor's at.
That's cool.
So,
Yeah, so you don't have a bunch of wires leading out to.
correct,
wall
and then I
or
can change the
something.
brightness on them or whatnot, but
that's
that just
cool.
sits there and it captions all the motion.
Is that meant for these boxes, or is it just?
I believe it's meant for house,
Oh.
like houseware. Like if you open up like a drawer or like
Yeah.
a cabinet in a closet.
So how often do you have to charge them?
I charge it maybe once every 3 weeks.
Oh, that's not bad.
Mm-mm.
Is it just the top drawer that has that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was gonna do the other ones, but the other drawers are skinnier.
Okay.
So they wouldn't necessarily have the room for all that without it looking a little bit claustrophobic.
Gotcha. Okay. That light is so nice.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that light just shines down on all these drawers, huh?
Yeah, it helps.
You do definitely like green, though, huh?
Yeah, everything I get is most of the time it's green. I actually have a order of, so these are Cornwell, but I have a Vim once again just came out with like the exact same thing, but in green handles.
Oh, cool. And I love this. It's like green.
Yeah, so I
in
paint
the-
those.
Oh, you painted them.
Mhm.
That's cool.
Yeah, so some of them look good, some of them look like trash. I don't
think
have
they
the
all look
steadiest
really
of hands.
good.
From a far away, like if I'm just doing like that, yeah,
Yeah.
they look good.
Oh yeah. How do you do it? You just like with a paint marker or something?
So I started the first couple I did with a like a paint marker, but then I was kind of like sloppy or whatnot. So the last couple times I got a die cast model paint set where like the brushes are like tiny, like just a
Whoa.
few like hairs thick, and I got some model paint, and so I've been.
Wow. So
That's-
you actually like fill in each like
Mhm.
letter? Oh man.
It's kind of a pain, but they look cool.
They do look super cool. Gosh, you got like a full set of torque wrenches back there, huh?
Yeah, that's the trifecta. I get
Gosh.
all the time, anytime I post this guy,
Uh-huh.
like, oh, where'd you get that? Because apparently they don't make that guy anymore.
The 1/4 inch?
Yeah,
Wow.
so this is a rare one now, just because they don't make them anymore.
Huh.
And so I've had people offer me like more than what I paid for it
Really?
to get it to finish their collection.
Whoa.
But she's mine. She's
Man.
not going anywhere.
As far as wrenches go, is it kind of the same as sockets? Just get what works?
Pretty much.
Cool.
So honestly, I don't use wrenches a whole lot.
Oh, really?
I have so many sockets that like I can get to pretty much anywhere I need to without using a wrench.
Oh, okay.
So it saves my knuckles. I actually just bought these with like the multiple angle ones. I've used them once, but I bought them because I wanted a one of the promo items off the truck. It was a little green guitar.
What?
And I actually have it over there.
I'll have to check that out.
Every now and then I'll just walk around the shop just strumming away. And I don't even know
That's
how to
so
play
cool.
guitar. Kind of mix of Silver Eagle.
Yeah.
I have some gear wrench in there, like the bigger stuff. More Capris. I love these thin ones. I use these guys a lot.
Yeah, those are super thin. Huh?
Yeah, these come in handy for when you're trying to get anywhere. And then I do have, when I was at Mercedes and we did the SPC replacements with like on the ABS modules, those lines.
Okay.
So this is like, I think they call it a line wrench, but so you can put the line in there and it ratchets.
That's cool.
So
Man.
these are awesome for
Ratcheting
that.
line wrench?
Yeah.
That's awesome. And so is this tool grid in like all the drawers?
It's in the top 3.
Top 3?
Eventually I'll get to the other ones, but for right now this is just like everything I use on a day-to-day basis.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
eventually the organization kind of stops after the next one, but
Gotcha.
it's organized chaos that
Yeah.
I know where stuff's at.
Yeah. Do you have a ratchet that's your favorite? It's like your go-to ratchet?
Yes and no. I use this guy all the time for
That's-
belly pan bolts.
Super long.
Yeah, it's nice because I can slap the 10 mil on there and just crack them loose or whatnot.
Sure.
So I use this guy probably the most. My next one I use the most is probably this long guy,
Wow.
3/8. I'm waiting to get the flex head one of these
Mm-hmm.
because I use this guy on the oil drain plugs. the materials that are in the drain plug and the bed plate of the engine, they like to like seize.
Really?
So even though you only torque them to 24 Newton meters, sometimes this isn't enough, and I'll have to use this big guy to just break
Jeez.
them off.
Wow.
And it's like right up against more bolts, so as soon as they let go, your knuckles are like gone. So that's why I want to get the flex head one of these.
Gotcha. Dude, it's so organized. Everything's green, huh?
Yes.
I guess you got some blue over there.
Unfortunately, the hex only came in blue, but that's
Gotcha.
because the Torx came in green.
Oh, okay, I see, yeah. Yeah, that'd be confusing if they're both green, I guess.
Yeah.
And I love how these have like pockets for each
Yep.
one.
Yeah, some of them are a little bit interesting to get down in there, but I mean, it's better than them
Yeah,
not.
all over the place.
Yeah. Plus, it just. So I started off with green because originally my favorite color was blue.
Okay.
But every now and then you'll see blue in an engine bay. You never see green stuff in an engine bay.
Ah, okay.
So like if I'm missing something, even before I had the whole tool grid set up where like if I was missing this, I could easily see something was missing.
Yeah.
You could look in an engine bay and you see something green.
Right.
That's probably a tool because
Yeah.
they don't make green engine stuff.
These snap-on screwdrivers are super long.
Yeah.
Goodness.
Yeah, I don't use them very often, but when they come in handy, they definitely do.
Man. Are you a fan of the Cornwell picks?
I am,
Here, I
yeah.
guess.
I'm not so I had to get this guy warrantied out
Okay.
to the new grip style. I'm not a fan of that grip. I'm just like looking at it. It feels good, but I prefer the more boxy one.
Gotcha. Huh. Yeah, these are a little bit less substantial, huh? than the-
Yeah.
Huh. What are those? Are those
So these are like pivoting hexes.
pivoting hexes? That's
So yeah, I can put that on my like snap-on screwdriver,
Huh.
and then if it's angled or whatnot.
cool. Yeah.
So I don't use them very often, but when I do, they're nice.
Yeah, those would come in handy.
So that's where the organization stops. So I have a whole bunch of stuff in here. Anything from my collection of pocket screwdrivers that I go through quite often. This is the paint
Oh, okay.
that
Yeah.
I paint the ratchets with. So
Nice.
it's just a tiny little thing. These are kind of cool. So these are carbon off of a fender liner for the McLaren Elvas. There's a campaign that you have to cut them, just like get them away from. I forget what line they're close to, but they don't want like the risk of it.
Sure.
But so the fender liners are actually solid carbon.
Wow.
So you have to cut into a $2 million car,
Gee.
which is always stressful.
Measure twice, cut once, I guess.
Pretty much. So I am a man-child, and I like to put googly eyes on stuff. So anything that I can put googly eye on, I will.
Nice.
I keep my mirrors in here.
Oh, dude, that's a huge mirror.
Yeah. I break this guy at least once every 2 months.
Yeah.
Just because like I'm shoving it somewhere.
Yeah.
But it comes in handy.
Bunch of pliers.
Yeah. So this is one of the drawers that eventually I'll get to with the tool grid.
Yeah.
But I'd have to like count how many pliers I have. Eventually I'll get to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just picked these up not too long ago. The Matco ones.
Oh yeah. Oh, green Nippics. You
Yep.
can't. That's so cool. Gosh.
They were green, so I had to get them. It's basically to the point where those I didn't even look on the truck for.
Yeah.
My Matco guy came in with a box. And I was like, "Do you want this on your account?" I'm like, "What is it?" And he opens it up. I'm like, "Yes." But yeah, like I'll buy, like I bought these. I know all the techs love these guys, like the needle snap-on or whatnot that you can pick up like the nickel
Sure,
or whatnot.
yeah.
So they came out with red originally. I'm like, you know what? I'll use it. And then as soon as the green ones come out, I'll pick those up. So I picked those up too.
Nice.
So I got two of them that I only use the green one.
Nice.
One
Oh,
of
is
those
that like a magnet? Okay.
holder things or grab things.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So I use this a lot more than the magnetic stuff because 90% of the stuff that make up McLarens are not magnetic.
Oh, okay.
So all the magnetic stuff, sockets I had that worked perfect at Mercedes,
Yeah.
do nothing here.
Oh man.
Because all the bolts are like aluminum, titanium. So I use that guy more than anything.
Huh. What are these? The green looking things.
So these are snap ring pliers.
Oh, they're snapping. Okay.
And they're cool because instead of like unscrewing them to swap them,
What?
and then
That's cool.
all I gotta do is tighten them and bam, they're the other way.
Whoa. That's awesome. And Matco makes those?
Yep.
Huh.
Yeah.
Oh, you got all like a bunch of different sizes too. That's
Yeah,
cool.
it came in a 4 pack. So it goes from big, small, smaller, smallest.
Man, that's cool.
Yeah.
I guess you used a lot of trim panel tools.
So
right?
I have a ton of these just because I go through them a lot. In my theory, like a trim panel set is, I don't know, 30, 40 bucks are not that bad.
Yeah.
I'd rather be aggressive with them, but like save the trim piece or the panel I'm trying to get off. I can replace these.
Yeah,
I don't necessarily want to replace a carbon fiber door sill or something like
sure,
that.
yeah.
So I'll break my tools daily to save the cars and just buy more of these.
Oh, cool.
That's why I have so many of those guys.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So this is my kind of electric drawer. Yeah, organization, not there, but I know where
What's
stuff is. So this is a Snap-on digital multimeter that I
Oh, wow.
absolutely love just because of the screen.
Whoa, like multicolored and everything.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, this guy is, I know there's a lot of people out there that are like fluke. I get that. My dad has one and he's had it for 30, 40 years and he loves it.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I like this guy. They make 3 different models of these guys. This is the midline one, but the one above it has like Bluetooth capabilities. So if you're needing to check like resistance or any value, but the leads don't go that far, you can get the app on your phone. And so like if you have to have the car up in the air running, but you have to be down here to check it, screen's gonna be up there, you can't see it.
Right.
Pull up on your phone, connect it, you'll see all the values on your phone.
Oh, wow.
So it makes just diagnosing that much easier.
Yeah.
Super cool. Yeah, I got the test leads magnetic, but they don't work because nothing's magnetic. I bought this guy back at Mercedes. It's like a 2-channel.
Like a scope?
Yeah.
Oh.
So you can hook it up and it goes off of an app on your phone. Just this tiny little
Wow.
thing.
Whoa. And so all the interface is on your phone.
So it's all
That's
through an app. It's kind of cool.
Do you ever have to do any CAN bus diagnosing on
Not
like
very
exotic cars?
often.
No.
I love these solder connectors for like wire repair. They're amazing.
Are they crimpers? Like you crimp them?
So you have solder in the middle. Strip the 2 wires, connect them, put this over it, and then you heat it up with this, and then the solder melts.
Whoa.
Collapses around it, so it creates like a insulation.
Wow. So like the heat shrink
Yeah.
keeps everything inside.
And then the solder stays inside, connecting it.
That'd be so much easier than having to
Yes.
like crimp and then like, huh?
Because I have a solder guy right here,
Uh-huh.
but I use these guys 9 times out of 10.
Oh wow.
And
Yeah,
yeah,
waterproof and everything.
yeah, I go through them. Never had an issue with them. I always test the wires. I do it to make sure like resistance is within spec.
Sure.
I've never had one have like excess resistance or anything like
Really?
that. So,
Man,
and they just make every repair look clean.
that's the way to go though.
Got my test leads. I haven't used those in a little bit, but I got this from Cornwell, I think.
Okay.
That's a decent
Yeah. All kinds of
collection.
stuff. Man, all kinds of connectors and stuff.
Yeah, I like it because it's got the like the new stuff with like the micro. I got some of the bigger stuff. I don't use this drawer a whole lot just because we're not really using like impacts on cars like these.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's the only time I'll use a air impact now is for like a axle nut.
Oh okay.
But that's about it. Everything else is either breaking it by hand or using smaller stuff just because of like don't want to damage stuff.
So like even like lug nuts and stuff?
Yeah, so lug nuts I always do it by hand with something like this.
Oh okay.
So
A great big 1/2 inch.
yeah, some more Cobalt stuff that I've had forever.
Yeah.
I haven't used this guy in like 4 or 5 years. I do have a piston out of a AMG 6.3 liter V8.
Oh,
You
wow.
can see that guy's not really.
Oh geez, yeah.
He wasn't too happy. So here I got all my power stuff.
So you like Milwaukee stuff? Oh, you got some Snap-on too.
Yeah, so I like Milwaukee because of how much stuff they make. The Cobalt things I've had forever. So right now, like this guy is the power to my transfer pump.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So that's strictly what that guy does.
Okay.
But this Milwaukee 3/8 stubby is, from the moment I bought it like 4 years ago, 3-4 years ago, my go-to.
Is it?
Yeah, I love this thing.
Those are so awesome.
And she's never broken down on me once. This is one of my newer purchases, the cutoff wheel. I thought I'd use this maybe. I use this thing almost daily.
Do you really?
I love this.
Wow.
Whether it be for like shenanigans or like actually fixing stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of the bolts on like the front, bottom of the front bumpers, I guess under panel you could call it on the bumpers, they strip out super easy. They're just small 4mm hexes. And especially when you have low cars like us, anytime you go over a bump and it scrapes the bolts, it messes up where you put the socket. So I'll go in there, I got like a whole kit, I'll cut a hole in that or a slit, and then I will use my 3/8 quarter adapter and that's my little bolt retrieval kit.
Wow.
And that works 99% of the time. Use this guy decent amount, just a long reach 3/8 electric ratchet.
I think it's like a beast.
Yeah.
Is that the same thing, just a shorter?
Yeah, so basically the brother.
Oh, okay.
Don't really use this guy very often just because this is my go-to. It's
Sure,
more,
yeah.
But I still have it.
Yeah.
And
Kind
then
of sucks Milwaukee doesn't have green, huh?
that, yeah. I've looked into it. Like they've got like boots and everything for like this guy that I could like paint, but I'm like, At that point, it's just kind of not worth it.
Yeah.
But this is my also other go-to. So like for belly pan bolts, I'll crack them open or crack them loose with a 1/4-inch long ratchet, and then go in with my nut driver and then zip them all off.
So is that impacting or is that just screw?
Just a screwdriver.
Just screwdriver. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is just kind of my random drawer. So I got my camera stuff in here. These were those paintbrushes I was telling you about. So like.
Oh, those are tiny, huh?
Yeah.
Huh.
Got extra batteries for key fobs. And then whenever my daughter comes to hang out, that's where I keep all her coloring supplies.
Oh, sweet.
So she likes to hang out with me at work and see some cars.
That's cool.
Yeah, so she's a cool little one.
Oh man, I love that box though. Yeah.
I got a few magnetic trays on this side.
Holy cow! You brought the whole truck out there. Wow.
I have more too that are out in the field in
Oh,
random
okay.
cars or whatnot, but yeah,
Man.
I use Cornwell ones are my absolute favorite.
Oh, the collapsing, man. Those are
Yeah.
so awesome.
So I got a whole bunch of these, and then I have one of these. That's the 4-pack.
Whoa.
So I don't use this one very often, just because most of the time I'm not undoing 4 things at once.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
But like this one I'll do for like my engine replacements or whatnot.
Okay.
But most of the time I'll grab one of these guys.
Nice. I see like green light. How is that?
So that is a LED light
Whoa.
that I have basically. So if this was the back of the box,
Right.
I have it here underneath, wiggled, and then back up the top for it to plug into the back here. But yeah, green LED light. So
Wow. Oh, that looks like that's so perfect. Gosh.
but then to keep the theme going, I got my green and black chair.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so this is kind of more my specialized stuff that I don't use every day. This is that guitar I was telling you about. That is not uncommon. My boss would be sitting in that desk and just see me walking around doing stuff.
Yeah, working hard.
Yeah. But yeah, so I use a lot of these from Harbor Freight too. Just the little holders. So what I'll do is I have them all labeled with chassis, engine, suspension, and body. I have a bunch in a different car right now that I'm putting an engine in.
Oh.
So like it's just organization.
Yeah.
So like if I'm taking off like an airbox or something, I'll put all the bolts in here, little sticky notes, right, airbox, and then whatever it goes to. So that'd be engine, put in there.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
So it kind of just makes things clean, organized.
Yeah. Especially when you're tearing stuff down, you're not going to put it back together right away. You got to leave it apart for a
Yeah,
while.
that's like with the engines on these cars, like if there's not an engine in the States, like
Oh,
it could
gosh.
be a month or two before I touch it again.
Gosh.
So like if I just have random bolts in like a magnetic tray, I'm like,
Yeah.
where do these go?
Everybody's like, I'll remember that. I'll
Yeah,
remember.
exactly.
But then you go back, you're like,
I've got terrible memory, so
what in
like
the world?
15 minutes later, I don't know what I'm doing. I keep a whole bunch of fluids, like brake clean up here. I have a whole bunch of cleaning and like detail sprays
Okay,
for polishing stuff.
nice.
When it comes to like all the high-end stuff, whenever I'm done with a car, I have another drawer of microfibers that anything I touched, even though all the cars get cleaned after I'm done with them,
Okay.
I wipe everything off I've done, just
Wow.
so it keeps those in even better condition.
Yeah.
So I want to like leaving better condition than I got it.
I know.
Yeah, and like all that stuff is like stuff that I bought. That's definitely not like, I mean, obviously we take pride in everything we do here as techs,
You're
but
right.
when it comes to like cars that are 2 million, 3 million, I want to be a little bit go above and beyond.
Sure, yeah.
So like I'll buy all that. I don't mind at all. But
So
then at the
cool.
other spectrum, I have a water gun
Oh.
that I like to.
And a Milwaukee battery holder?
Yeah, so I bought this off Amazon, and it had like a tiny 1.5 volt battery.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, that's not enough.
It's not gonna cut
So
it.
I got the adapter for the Milwaukee 12 volt.
Wow.
So now I have this monstrosity of a water pistol that I like to go spray people with.
Oh, that's awesome.
I enjoy what I do, so like I
Oh,
like to
yeah.
have fun. But yeah, I got some mementos from like clients. I'd work on their car and they appreciate everything I do. I like to post everything I have up there to let them know it's like this isn't just like a job for me. If you were to ask me as a 10-year-old kid what I'd be doing now,
Mm-hmm.
I would never even say this. So it's like
Wow, that's so cool.
I try not to be like the sour techs that like after 5-6 years that they just hate what they do, but
Mhm.
they're like kind of stuck with it.
Right.
Like this is more than that for me. So I like to keep a hold of all that kind of stuff. That's one of the customer cars, one of the Elvas, another one 765 Spider, and then this guy, that RO is special. When we had Car Week here January, you've heard of Shmee, right?
Heard of what?
Shmee 150.
No.
The
Sorry.
giant car YouTuber.
Okay.
But he does like a whole bunch of car reviews or whatnot. Millions and millions of followers. I worked on his car.
Whoa.
So I kept that RO Solar Beam Yellow Mercedes AMG GT Black. It's a funny story. We were about to go to an event and locking up and we see the Solar Beam Yellow GT come up. I'm like, there's only one guy that I know that has that.
Uh-huh.
And it was him. He's like, hey, I was on a track day. I had some stuff happen. Can you take a look at my car and get me back on the road? So I took off my jacket. I'm like, you got it. So he needed tires and whatnot. But while we were waiting for tires, like the next day, topped off all his fluids, did like everything with them. As we talked for a good while. Super nice guy.
Yeah.
I love him. He's awesome. Yeah. But yeah, I never thought I'd like work on somebody like that in the car community's car. So
That's so cool.
so this is one of my protective drawers. So these are all McLaren seat covers.
Okay.
So anytime I have a car with a white interior,
Mhm.
seat cover goes on. So that way, if I get anything dirty, it's this.
Yeah.
I also have a steering wheel cover for all the white steering wheels or anything like that. I use tape like no other, like taping off panels before I pry on them, even
Oh,
for like
yeah.
oil changes or whatnot.
That's smart.
So yeah, I have a ton of tape. I go through that constantly. Then I have the important drawer.
Holy moly.
I spend a lot of time here, so I want to be.
Oh, that's awesome.
I know guys have a couple snack drawers, so I
Yeah,
have.
this is. Oof. Man, is that Cajun stuff?
Mhm.
Oh man.
So
you are just ready.
I have an egg maker and everything, so I'll make like omelets or like breakfast burritos here in the morning,
That's so cool.
just so I don't have to leave. So it keeps me going through the day.
This is awesome. Made me hungry.
So this is a drawer with like all the microfibers. So I have a couple of different depending on like what I need them for.
Uh-huh.
So like these guys, I think are the best ones I've got. I won't use those unless it's like basically the ones in there are a one-time use for me. So I'll do them even if a spot's only like that big on the car. I don't want to risk it on a $90,000 paint job. So I'm
Sure.
like, okay, I bought those. I'll use it one time on like special cars like that with my good polish.
Uh-huh.
When I'm done with the car, throw those away. Then the other stuff, like the green ones, and then these ones, these are for like body panels or like the carbon diffusers.
Okay.
So like even the diffusers underneath I'll wash off when I'm done with them.
Oh, wow.
But like these are more like interior just because of how soft they are.
Yeah.
But yeah, my white glove collection, booties.
And so you purchased all this yourself?
Correct, yeah.
Oh, wow.
It adds up after all, but at the same time, it's like,
Yeah.
they're kind of works of art. And
Yeah,
I want
absolutely.
to respect them as much as possible. So, kind of specialty tools in here. I got, this guy is one of my favorites, kind of like stubby set.
Oh, yeah.
So I absolutely love this guy. Like when I'm taking off, our cars have side panels under to the side of the main belly pan, and one of those panels is held on by T30s, but one of the T30s is right, the lift arm point is right underneath it. So you have about that much space to loosen a bolt that's like that long. So that guy comes in handy for that. These guys are fantastic. They're like a 2-in-1. So one side of the bit cuts out like the stripped part of it, and then the other side is a reverse thread drill. So it like grabs it and it takes them out like nothing.
That's cool.
I love this guy. I don't use it all that often, thankfully, because I don't have to. But it's that thread repair kit from Snap-on. But that guy's come in handy multiple times. Compression tester, I think, or a leak down. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I like the dials. I got this one at Mercedes because of all the cylinder heads I would do.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
So that was like my go-to at Mercedes to use this guy. Pin removal tool? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Steelman. I think I got that off Cornwell. Yeah, they'll get pretty much everything off. Out. Then this guy, I have most of my nut drivers on my go-to card.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, these guys come in handy because you got the non-magnetic side, but then you also have the equivalent magnetic side.
Oh, okay.
So it's got everything.
Wait, so what's the benefit of having a non-magnetic side?
If it's on like a more of like a stud kind of,
Oh,
or
okay.
if like the threads go further out, you can
Gotcha.
still get that on there as
Yeah.
long as it's not like
I never thought
giant.
about that.
Yeah. Harbor Freight punches because they're green.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
So
Probably don't use those much here, though.
nope, but they're green. So if I need it.
Nice.
Well, this is where I keep most of my, because I still have a lot left over from my tool grid setup. So whenever I buy new stuff, I don't necessarily have to buy the hold downs. I'll have extra.
Nice.
They make a kit or a couple different like starter kits for that.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't do that. So I like piece mine together. So I have like a
gotcha.
whole bunch like extra everything. Is more expensive that way, but I got it how I wanted it to.
Yeah.
I got some extra cables. I'll use like this stuff for, is off of a bad wire harness from a McLaren. So if I need to do wire repair,
Sure.
I have McLaren wire instead of just like off the shelf wire or whatnot.
Yeah.
I want to keep it the same.
Yeah.
I have a couple of test parts, like a head unit, window switch. Don't know what that is. Yeah, it's kind of just like my testing drawer for other stuff, like antennas and stuff like that. I just got this guy not too long ago. It's that Snap-on battery charger.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Super mobile.
I love them because how to get to the battery on McLarens, they're in the frunk, and you have like a small access port. And for the McLaren battery charger, the cables are gigantic.
Oh,
So you have to
really?
like shove them in there and like try not to scratch stuff. So that's why I like these because the connectors are small
Yeah.
and it's a lot more portable. Don't use it, but if you want to
okay.
like hang it on
Yeah.
something. And then this is one of my all-time favorites because I do deal a lot with coolant. So this is one of those vacuum refillers.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I have two of them. This one is universal that I use for McLarens, and then I have one with a Mercedes adapter that I got at Mercedes.
Cool.
But these things, I love them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll do like a 2-stage fill. The first one I'll use like the giant machine for like the main fill. That doesn't get necessarily all the air out, but then I'll go do this, and within 5-10 minutes, it's done.
Wow.
So I've gotten very used to using this guy, and I cannot recommend this guy enough.
That's awesome.
But then I also have like a little small battery tender. I use that guy often too because not only does he have the alligator clamps, but you can put in the
cigarette lighter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super easy.
So it would charge it from that?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Or at least not charge, but like it supply power.
Oh,
so
okay.
our cars, because the batteries are very small and light, even like when doing diagnostic stuff with a scan tool, you want to have them plugged in.
Oh.
They're that finicky with like the battery. So that, like if I just need to like scan a car, hook up the scanner, hook that up, don't need to necessarily worry about that big guy. I use this guy a lot. Little corn oil vacuum.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
For like sucking up like these cars, especially here in the desert, they get like a lot of debris underneath them. So taking off like pans and whatnot, I just like zoop, suck them all up
Nice.
and call it good.
That help keep from making a huge mess everywhere.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm good at making a mess. I don't need any more help with that.
What is that?
Oh yeah, that's one of my other fun toys. So this is a spear.
You keep a spear in here.
So it is like a legit Cornwell spear.
It's made by Cornwell? Dude. Oh my gosh.
Why I have it? I don't know. Will I ever need it?
Yeah.
Also, most likely not.
Really-
But I have it.
Really bad back scratch.
Exactly.
And I see this one still has the green glow on the back too, huh?
Yeah, so that's the same setup that I have on that one. It's just
Gotcha.
a LED strip.
Okay. And it kind of comes out the bottom too.
Yeah, I have it on the bottom as well.
Wow.
So it's the same kind of
I didn't
style.
notice it was on the bottom of that one too. So cool.
It's all like on the back and then all on the bottom and then back up. So it's got like the effect everywhere.
That's awesome.
But yeah, this is my day-to-day cart.
So this is the one you roll around the shop everywhere?
Correct.
Wow.
So it's where I keep everything like decently organized. For like belly pan bolts, that's how I just keep them.
Yeah.
But this guy has seen a lot of miles just in this shop. I keep all my daily little bits here. So,
Yeah, you must use a lot of bits then.
yeah.
Wow.
So like for belly pan bolts, a 10, magnetic 8. Instead of having to go like back to my box for things I use on the hourly basis, I'm fine with just keeping like the little bit of stuff I have here.
Nice.
It just makes life a lot easier. Bungee cables, one of my mini knives, brake caliper holders. And then I have all my flashlights that I recently just put on here.
Oh wow.
So
Pretty
yeah,
nice, huh?
Stingers 2020s, and then they just came out with this, the blue one, after a couple
Whoa.
years. And I have this green ring was on this one, but I want it on this one. But I have another one on order, so it looks
Okay.
all new. But yeah, they just came out with this. I'm waiting for them to come out with the green one.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's not a shock by now. But yeah, because up until now they only had black, but now they have blue and green, or blue and red.
Okay.
So,
Are they pretty bright compared to like a regular?
oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
I love these things. So these are my go-to.
I feel like the LED is way huge compared to like the regular
Yeah,
Stinger.
so this is the older style. So the two newer ones.
Man.
So this was like my pocket one. It took a good while for me to transition to wearing like this kind of uniform. So this is my daily uniform here.
Okay.
Back at Mercedes, I'd wear more of the standard tech like outfit with like all the pockets.
Sure.
And it took a while for me to transfer, get used to not having flashlights and pocket screwdrivers all over the place.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, you
So-
don't have any pockets. up
Yeah,
there.
so it took a while to get used to that, but
So what do you do without a pocket? You just put like.
yeah, so I just put it there because half the time this cart's with me anyhow.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, if wherever that cart's at, I have flashlight.
Gotcha.
I have a wheel tool because we have carbon ceramic brakes. I'll take a lug nut out and I'll thread this in,
Okay.
so that way, because the lug nuts are studs too, so they don't have actual threads. So if you take them all out, the wheel's gonna fall, and if it falls on the carbon ceramic, you can break it. So you put this in, and it'll rest on there. You can,
Ooh, that'd be an expensive repair there.
depending on the brake rotor, they're about $7,000 a piece.
1,000? Is that what holy cow.
Yeah, per rotor.
Oh my gosh. Are these work lights up here then?
Yeah. Yeah, so these are, well, when they're charged. This one has seen some better days, but I refuse to give up on it because he's like family.
Does it still work then?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah, it just doesn't have like the lens
Gotcha.
or a will to live anymore.
Do you keep anything inside of this one?
Bunch of random stuff. Covers for coolant hoses and stuff like that. I have this exhaust cutter, which I used all the time at Mercedes when they're doing that, the diesel retrofit with all that stuff going on. So
Yeah.
you'd have to like cut off the exhaust and put a new one on.
Oh, wow.
So instead of waiting for the shops to open up after like 2 hours, I just bought my own. So
Yeah, that's nice. And those are sweet because there's no like mess or anything, right?
yeah, put it around the pipe and go back 6-7 times and it's cut.
That's awesome.
Yeah, kind of just random stuff in this one. And then I use these guys a lot. So I had another Snap-on cart at Mercedes that was kind of like that, but it had the top opened up
Okay.
instead of it being like that. And so these were like the dividers for one of the drawers. But what I use these for now is if I have to do a wire repair with those solder connectors and you have to
Okay.
use a butane torch,
Mm-hmm.
I put this behind the wire. So because most of the time there's cramped area. So if you have some important stuff behind that connector, I'll put this behind it so it shields anything.
That's genius. Huh.
I like keeping those because I can always use extra stuff like that.
Yeah. Man, you have such a nice setup.
It's definitely tailored for like how I work,
Yeah.
but I've gotten it to the point where it's my baby.
Yeah. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. I really did, and this has been such a treat. Thank you so much, Brett, for letting me come down and,
Oh,
and
of
take
course,
a look.
pleasure having you.
But yeah, this has been so awesome. But till the next one, guys, we'll see you.